Right side defenseman from Raleigh, North Carolina, the 5 from Mule Party. And starting goaltender from LA, Michigan, number 31, Cameron Reagan.
Welcome into the broadcast, everybody listening on Hockey TV or over on the Jackalopes YouTube channel where it's the audio-only feed. My name is Michael Wazinski, the voice of the Odessa Jackalopes for this 2022-2023 campaign as they get ready for game number 2 against the reigning South Division champion New Mexico Ice Wolves. Yesterday did not go in favor of the Jacks as they fell to the Ice Wolves in the Ice Wolves home opener by a score of 5-2. There were 4 total goals put up in period number 1, 2 from both sides. Then there was a goal in period number 3 about 7 minutes in off the stick of Howard, which wound up to be the game-winning goal. And then there was 2 empty net goals in the final minute from New Mexico. As again, that 3-2 score held for almost the entire third period. Head coach Scott Dewar pulled Quentin Sigurdsson in hopes for his team to tie it up. It would have been the third time the score would have been tied in that hockey game yesterday. Fortunately, it was a empty net goal that was scored by number 27, Hunter Hastings. And right after him, getting his second of the game was Sully Scholey. Again, 2 empty net goals wrap up a 5-2 victory for New Mexico. They've played 5 games so far this season. They are 4-1, 8 points in the South Division. But it was the third time yesterday New Mexico has won a game by a score of 5-2. Well, to go off of that, they lost their only game by a score of 5-2. And the only other win that they have, not by that final, actually finished 4-2 in their favor. And that 4-2 victory came against the reigning Robertson Cup champions who beat the Ice Wolves in the round before the Robbie Cup championship. That was a 4-2 win against New Jersey. The only loss for the Ice Wolves has been against the Maryland Black Bears. And the Black Bears are rolling through the season pretty well so far. And a perfect showcase. And they are 6-1, running away with the East Division already. 12 points. The next nearest team, Philadelphia and the Northeast at 4. As for the South Division, Amarillo and Oklahoma still undefeated here this regular season. Wranglers 5-0, Warriors 4-0. El Paso and New Mexico both 4-1, and actually should say Lone Star is undefeated as well, having only played 3 games. But they only have 6 points, so that puts them in 5th place. Odessa right behind them with 3 points, a 1-3-0-1 record, and then tied for 7th are the Ice Rays and the Mudbugs with a 1-4 record. Well, the starting lineup for your Odessa Jackalopes, they're staying with that third line that they started yesterday. Adam Armijo, who had his first ever NAHL goal yesterday in his hometown of Albuquerque, New Mexico. We'll have the national anthem. I'll get right back to the starting lineups here from Albuquerque, New Mexico.
With the playing of our national anthem.
the anthem has been played here at the Outpost Ice Arenas. As I get back to reading over the starting lineup for your Jackalopes. Centering that third line is the Montvale, New Jersey native Justin Hughes off on his right-hand side from Strongsville, Ohio. It will be J.R. Perdian. And on defense from Canton, New York, Nate Boak on the left-hand side. Lemieux Vardy moves up from that extra forward/defenseman role he's been playing over the course of this regular season so far. From Raleigh, North Carolina, Vardy will be in that right defensive role. Between the pipes, it will be Cameron Reagan from Holly, Michigan. The rookie, 6'2", 160 pounds. Only one game played so far, 3 goals against average, and a save percentage of .919. 18 years of age. Both coaching staffs going with new goaltenders for game number 2. It will be Will Craig, the Ontario, Canada native, here defending the 4x6 cage for the Ice Wolves, as that one's launched deep off the opening draw for game number 2. And it's playing out by Hughes, just as far as the red line. And it settled deep by Jack Dalton. Played forward to Howard. And offside is called, as he tried to dish it over to the Minnesota State commit from Japan, Yusako Ando. That second line, very dangerous. Like I was saying yesterday, they were posing all sorts of threats for the Jackalopes through 60 minutes of play. I was saying Lindberg, the Swedish native, and the AIC commit, his name a lot, as well as Howard. Again, he's my player to watch for this weekend series from New Mexico. Leading the team in points coming into this weekend, and again had a goal in yesterday's affair. As the puck trickles to that far side. Played at center ice after it was Gans. Couldn't grab a hold of it. Metz will bring it out. The Minnesota native gets as far as the trapezoid. And they cycle it back up to the point where they fire one. Rams off the end boards. Picked up by Metz near side. And he gets tangled up with Wojciechowski. Play continues along the half boards on the near side. Just over a minute gone in period number 1. Coming away with it is New Mexico. Played from low to high. And that one awkwardly catches Reagan, bounces away and into the near side corner. As Pogreba couldn't settle the vulcanized rubber. As Gans fires it over to the tape of Marshall, who will gain the red line and launch it deep. 18:30 left to go here in period number 1. Shots after the first period yesterday heavily favored New Mexico 17-6, and it's a turnover at center ice. Scholey wants it back in the slot, doesn't get it. They dish it back up to the blue line where Benson will now ladle it deep. Chopping at that one was Kelly. Odessa still trying to get it out of their own zone. They're finally able to settle it as Jack Christian sweeps it forward. And it's jabbed over to the far side by Craig. Skillstad sends it into the enemy zone. However, Begier was offside. And now re-entering on some forecheck is Kelly. Changes coming on the fly for both sides, as we have 17:35 left to go here in period number 1. That one's going to go right onto the net of Reagan, who gets sprayed in the process by Graham Harris. And a little pushing and shoving afterwards between Kedlasek and number 29, Tyler Samudro. Both of those players in action for the first time this weekend. Offensive zone draw for New Mexico, near side circle to the gloved hand of Reagan. Good is able to work it loose, find the tape of the Army commit in Dane Hoyard as he sends it into the left corner. Hoyard right back with it. Played up, good. Now to Begier, and a shot ramps off the end boards as Craig is upended at the top of his crease, and a delayed call upcoming against Odessa. As that puck ended up in the back of the net, but it was as soon as Odessa touched it. As Kedlisik still talking things over with Tyler Samudro. I believe it's going to be goaltender interference on Dane Hoyer. New Mexico went 1 for 1 on the power play yesterday. Odessa went 0 for 2. As Scott Durrell will send on Marshall and Gans. There's Kenner printing penalty kill. Arneson out there as well. Over on the far side is Wojciechowski. New Mexico wins it. A slap shot kick saved by Reagan. All the way down, it's cleared by the Jacks. Over 3 gone here in period number 1, and 15 seconds elapsed on the Kenner printing penalty kill for Odessa. As racing in with it is Lindberg. Lindberg weaves his way into the left circle, whips it around the yellow trim, kept in at the top of the point by Dalton, and fired out aggressively by Wojciechowski as Gans will apply pressure on Craig, who flips it along to the near side from his own zone. 1:20 left to go of power play time for the Ice Wolves as Lindberg races the other way. Lindberg enters near side, just leaves it around the horseshoe to that far side. Now it's played. Boken after it. 3 Ice Wolves looking on. Comes loose for Vardy. Vardy gets into some open ice on the far side. New Mexico picks it up. They slide it across to Lindberg. Lindberg now to that left circle. Ando back to Lindberg. Lindberg couldn't get a shot initially off, and when he did, it went well wide. Having trouble clearing it was Kedlisic, and Boak was finally able to sail it out as we get a line change coming for both parties with 15:50 left to go in the first and 40 seconds left on the man advantage for New Mexico as they turn it over in their own zone. Jack's going to get a quality shot off. Now Hastings comes in wide to that near side as he was protecting the puck. Drifts it on back to the blue line. They're playing at the far boards. Back up to the point. They fire one, looking for a tip. They get it, but deflects wide. All the way back up to Kunitz. Kunitz fires one. Rebounds loose. Right in front of Reagan and gets a paddle on it. And cleared out by Adam Armijo with 5 seconds left of Ice Wolves power play time remaining.
Hoyer returns for Odessa.
And now we go back to even strength hockey. Hoyer down the box and right over onto the bench. And great kill by Odessa as Jack Christian will beat out the icing as we're just about 5 minutes into the first. Shots currently reading 3-0 in favor of New Mexico. Still a scoreless affair here in game number 2. Offensive zone draw for the Jacks following an icing against New Mexico. Far side circle. Off to the blocker side of Craig. The 20-year-old goaltender. Kept in at the top of the right point. However, eventually will squirt out to center ice, and good maneuvering by Peterson, who will shovel that one as far as New Mexico's blue line. Mansfield knocked the stick out of Jeff Hutchinson's hand. No call on the play as Metz picks it up, sends one on to Reagan. He's able to pillow it away. Trying to feed it out are the Jacks. They get as far as their top of the blue line as it's played right in front of their bench. They're making changes on the fly as well. Unable to grab a hold of that one was Boat. We'll see that one go below his goal line. Kelly now applying the pressure on Rain. 14-10 left to go in the first. A lot of this puck has been in the Jack zone here early on in this hockey game, as there's a big fight for it in the near side corner. Comes loose for Christian. Passes it over to Mansfield. Mansfield lobs it around Benson. He'll get back to it. Leaves it now for Begier, who feeds it on back to Mansfield on that far side. He loses it to Benson. Mansfield still fighting for it. Gets it back. Lower right side. Shoots. Rebound. And he scores! From a horizontal shot. Mansfield is second on the weekend. And back-to-back games. The Ontario native gets the first of the night. 13:41 left to go in the first. And Odessa is currently 100% shooting on Craig. They might tack on one or two afterwards. There's some rebound that came the way of Ryan Mansfield. And they do. They put up 3 total. yesterday was on the second shot in which Mansfield scored the first goal of the game. Now it's on the third. Odessa up 1-0. Mansfield continuously driving home right at the side of the crease in that near side post, and was able to get it around the sprawled out netminder Craig from the Redlands. Arneson with it. Kadlesic with the assist. As it's rattled around the boards. Wojciechowski flips it, and bringing it out is Smodrel. Over to Wojciechowski. Hits the stick of Kuntz, so icing is waved off. Odessa unable to feed it back to the slot. Gans now possesses it, near side corner. Gans sealed up against the boards, rubbed off the puck as it's settled for Kuntz. Played right to Johnson. Johnson along the left wing. Flutters it right over to Reagan, who gloves it down and quickly plays it to Christian. 12:45 left to go in the first. Jacks up 1-0. Thanks to Ryan Mansfield. And no, you're not listening to yesterday's game. Good block by Peterson. Leaves it for Howard, and good strip by Finn as now he's able to escape along the right wing. Turning his legs forward as Finn loses in as Gans going to get a shot off. And now entering his Ando. This dangerous second line again out there for New Mexico. Howard loses puck possession as it's golf swung deep by the Jacks as Finn will race after it against Dalton. Dalton gets it as far as his bench boards, and New Mexico's successfully able to clear as they rattle it around the glass over to the far side. 8 minutes into period number 1. Thanks for tuning in on Hockey TV as Finn plays it all the way up but not out, and a collision between two Ice Wolves leads Marshall to feed it the Gans as that shift is at the end and new one comes on in black jerseys. Shots are 4-3 in favor of New Mexico. However, now the momentum starting to turn in favor of the visitors. Odessa looking for their second win of the season. New Mexico's 4-1. So they got 8 points so far. Again, yesterday won by a score of 5-2. Their third win by that margin. Played directly behind Reagan. Now off to his right-hand side, all the way back up top. They fire one. Tip was there from Sully Sholey, but it was denied by Reagan. Hughes with it, far side. Hughes trying to kick it away from the boards, is able to do so. Leaves it on back now for Arneson. Arneson knifes it forward, gets it over to that right-hand side for J.R. Perdian. Good move to Wojciechowski. Back over in front and just eludes Perdian as it will glide into the right corner. Played out by New Mexico. You could see Odessa's all over the reigning South Division champs now. J.R. Perdian tries to muscle it home on the near side. Same spot Mansfield scored from, unable to do so with 10:34 left to go in the first. If they put that one up, shot should be even at 4 apiece. Icing is waved off. It's played just out to the left-hand side of Craig and somehow stayed out as there was bodies all around his crease as it's lobbed diagonally into the right corner. 10:10 left to go in the first. 4 players battling for it. A third enters. That's Kelly. Odessa with the puck. Kelly plays it forward to Bezier. Now numbers going in favor of Odessa. Cross ice to Mansfield. The momentum was stopped as he sweeps it deep. Changes again coming for the Jacks as New Mexico surges north with it. Onto the stick of Johnson. Broken up. Good with it now near side. And gets it the boat. From the slot. They shoot just wide. Rebounds there. Saved by Craig. Oh, Dane Hoyer. An opportunity for the Army to commit. Give the Jacks their largest lead of the weekend. It remains 1-0 Odessa. 9:35 left to play in the first as we head to immediate timeout.
Is fully stocked with brand new merchandise and equipment. That's right, get fitted in the latest New Mexico Ice Wolves gear or get ready to take the ice yourself. Tilly's Pro Shop is New Mexico's only hockey shop. Hey fans, be sure to have a magnet schedule on your way out following tonight's game courtesy of Watt Electric. for all of your home or business electrical needs. Hey fans, the Ice Wolves want to wish a very happy birthday to Outpost General Manager Chuck Domenici. Happy birthday, Chuck. We also want to wish a very happy birthday to Cam. Thank you, Cam and friends, for spending your birthday with the Ice Wolves.
Ryan Mansfield now up to 15 career goals for him in 62 games played in the North American Hockey League. A twisting shot fought off by Craig off the stick of Boak. Hoyard with it far side. Hoyard now leaves it for Good. Good top of the point. Good fires. One glove save by Craig. So Odessa making some changes for this offensive zone draw. They now lead in shots 5-4. One away from tying their total that they had in the first 20 minutes yesterday. That one's rattled off the glass. Good keep in by Boak. Top of the right point. Gets it back from Gans. Played around by New Mexico as they just send it forward to Javier. The puck will be picked up by Boak in behind Reagan. Hack to the blue line, and a slap shot goes well wide. Recovered by Finn, and so we'll send it off to Stanch in the Gans. He's poke checked off the puck by Ice Wolves defense as Scholey enters along that far side. His pass deep, broken up by Gans. Will feed it across. Now Wojciechowski gives chase against Metz. Mexico with puck possession in enemy territory. Broken up, and now Gans over to Armijo. They're onside. Armijo again. Held up at the top of the point. 8:30 left to go in the first. Odessa up to 6 shots now on Craig. One has gotten past him. Thanks to Ryan Mansfield. Good poke check there from Adam Armijo. As it's played on that far side. Jabbing at it is Odessa. And 1-0 hockey game. This is now the 4th time in 6 games, the Jacks have scored the first goal of the game. However, they have a record of 0-2, 0-1 when doing so, as it's fluttered in from Benson, who gains the red line and will head right back to the bench for a line change. As we have 7:45 left to go here in this opening frame, Wojciechowski will lob it up and into the stands. .7:44 remains in the first. Draw to the glove side of Reagan. Number 31 from Holly, Michigan. Only one NHL game played so far under his belt back at the showcase. And it was in that loss to Aberdeen in day number 2. He had allowed 3 goals. The final was 5-2. It was 2 empty nets scored by the wings. Picked up by Arneson. A lead pass just off the blade of Mansfield. As firing it off the glass and out was Craig. Now into the stick of Lindbergh, and a snapshot rises above the left glove of Reagan and into the corner. Losing edge on that far side was number 19, Jake Keller, the extra forward for New Mexico. Now a lot of bodies coming together on that half wall on the far side. Comes loose for Christian. Backhands it around to that same spot. J.R. Purdy lobs it off the boards. And across now for Mansfield. Mansfield's onside. Has options in the slot. Does come away with the puck directly behind Craig. However, he lost it shortly after that. And now the Ice Wolves enter. Picked up by Christian between the circles. Mansfield sauces it backhand over to Kelly. Kelly fires one just wide. Catches that Zamboni door awkwardly. And remains in New Mexico zone. As Good comes away from it. Good gets past 2 Ice Wolves players. Sends it over to Bulk. And he forces it down low. cleared out by New Mexico. Not going for icing as Boak will get to it for 6:10 left to go in period number 1. In yesterday's game, the Jacks scored pretty early on. Again, thanks to Ryan Mansfield. As Odessa's adding on time on attack right now. Lost it in that right circle, but good poke check by Emerson Good. As Kedlisic is still fighting for it on the corner. Under 6 to play in the first. Odessa up 1-0. Ando with it. Ando sends it across, and unable to grab a hold of it was Howard. And now racing the other way is Hoyard for Odessa. Gets it around to the defense. The same good for a dumping chase. Howard on the far side. Muscled off the puck, and good read by Christian as he picked off a pass to Ando and lobs it deep. Rank wide pass over to Hastings. Hastings past the red line, now the blue. Once again, Christian meets him. Hastings comes away with it across, and a one-timer shot from Javier goes awry as it ramped off the end boards. 5 minutes left to go in the first. Worked out by Odessa as they're getting some new units on defensively. And Vardy and Arneson. Arneson fires one. Rebounds loose. Backhanded save by Craig. As he denies William Marshall of his first of the season. 4:43 left to go in the first. Jacks up 1-0. These two teams split the season series last year, 4-4. And again, all time, Odessa is now 11-13-0-1 against New Mexico, going all the way back to 2019-2020, which was the inaugural season for New Mexico. Their NA3 team just started as well yesterday. Vardy with it. Vardy fires one, trying to get a deflection. Does not, as New Mexico will pick it up and flip it off the glass all the way down. It will roll for an icing. So some tired legs have to remain out on the ice for New Mexico. Jacks take advantage of it. Get some fresh ones onto the ice for the ensuing draw from the dot. Somehow getting loose was Mansfield. Up top, Vardy fires one. Kick save, I believe, from Craig. There was heavy traffic in front of him. Nonetheless, it's staying out. Vardy trying to get it back up to Mansfield. Vardy now will just bring it forward as far as the red line and flip it to the right. Sent along the trim. And Bezier will chase after him on the far side, trying to get it away from Dalton. Mexico sends it forward as they're trying to enter the Jack zone. They're offside, and they flip that one right into Kelly. Kelly, cross ice now to Wojciechowski. Wojciechowski does hit off the stick of Benson and Craig. So full sail line change coming for the Jacks as it was no icing called. 3:20 left to go in the first. Odessa leads 1-0 as a shoulder save is fought off by Reagan. Recovered by New Mexico. Into that left circle. They're playing with it. It's Samudro. And out it's cleared by the Jacks. Benson sends it across. Picked up by Good. Good enters offside as him and Hoyard were not on the same page over on the near side. Just under 3 minutes left to go in the first. Jacks coming out ferocious here in period number 1. Up on the score sheet 1-0, leading in shots 7-4. Fewest shots for the Ice Wolves so far this season. Again, only have played 5 games, but in the first period was 5 on September 17th against the Maryland Black Bears, and their only loss on the season so far. Ando with it. And good poke check by Christian. Christian with it. trying to feed good, gets it to him, good, shoots one. Trying to go near side on Craig, and he came up the better of him. Howard with it, streaking in. Howard fires one through the crease and back up top. Dawn launches one towards Reagan. Doesn't reach him, and that one bounces up and out. Getting taken down was Gans, but no call on the play, as it was his counterpart number, Jeff Hutchinson. As we remain 5-on-5 hockey with 2:05 left to go in the first of a 1-0 hockey game here from the Outpost Ice Arenas. Vardy sends it forward. Frank thinking it's going for icing. It's waved off. As Gans trying to find it in the left corner. Has help to his right as well as directly behind him. Finn will possess it. Throws it back up top to Boak. Boak the lefty. Dancing within and trying to get a tip out in front from Marshall. It hits the paddle of Craig, and it's railed out all the way to the near side for Javier, who gets a good hip check thrown from Boak. Played around by Vardy, but open real estate for Scholey to pick it up for New Mexico. Broken up in the left corner, and it's recovered by the Jacks. Marshall with it. Marshall gets around one. Finn off to his left-hand side. A long stretch pass. Oh my goodness, what a save from Craig. And here we go afterwards. A lot of altercations. And Hughes getting after an Ice Wolf with 1:14 left to go in the first. Some of these players playing in their first South Division game, or weekend series I should say, and some returners knowing some familiar faces on both sides. I'm not sure what's going to come out of this with 1:14 left to go in the first. Penalty box door is opening for New Mexico, as Hastings will go for the Ice Wolves and Marshall for the Jackalopes. And it appears to just be some offsetting penalties. Wait for the PA announcement over the speakers and for it to be put up on the video board here, but it appears that both teams will remain 5 skaters onto the ice. Same officiating group as yesterday. Referee Sean Cornock, linesman Jet Flanagan, and Duncan McGarrett. And both teams just one player in the penalty box. 2 minutes up on the boards for Hastings, number 27 from Scottsdale, Arizona. And a 2-minute penalty up on the board for William Marshall from Webster Groves, Missouri. We're bringing out to the neutral zone dot following the post-whistle altercation, as Hughes will go toe-to-toe against Metz. And we'll actually have 4-on-4 hockey, which will bring us all the way to the end of this first period, regardless if either team does score. And it's covered quickly by Reagan, as Metz was trying to hustle for a very short shot. Reagan smartly coming out at the top of his crease. 61 seconds left to go here in the first period. And for the second straight time, Ryan Mansfield scores the first goal of the game.
1 minute remaining in the period. There is 1 minute remaining.
Fired off the half boards on the far side. A slap shot in and out. It's loose and a right pillow save from Reagan. Delayed call coming against Odessa, as I believe it's going to be a holding or a hooking call against Boak. And it's a hooking call against number 29. So New Mexico, a 4-on-3 power play for 48.3 seconds here in period number 1. So Bezier, Arneson out there, and Wojciechowski, as he'll gain it, fire as far as the top of the left point, kept in by Dalton. Right circle now. Hutchinson doesn't pull the trigger. Back up top to Dalton. Now over to Lindbergh. Left circle. Glove save by Reagan. Flashing that left leather of his with 34.3 seconds left to go in the first. Drop it from the same dot on the far side. Dalton with it. The righty fakes, loses it. And it just skips past the blade of Arneson. Back up top to Hutchinson. He moves it across ice to Lindbergh. Back up top to Dalton now. Across right side, and getting a piece of that stick in the shooting lane was Arneson. Something Scott Dewar was preaching after the game yesterday on the penalty kill. As they get it back out to center ice, Begier remains on the ice. Looked like he wanted a change and fought off by Craig. 4 seconds left to go in the period. Dalton across. Lindbergh couldn't settle it. And the horn sounds, ending period number 1. What a chaotic way to end that, as it was a 4-on-3 power play for the New Mexico Ice Wolves. We'll have a minute and 12 remaining of power play time, 47 seconds of which will be 4-on-3 when we come back with period number 2. Jacks go into the locker room for the first time this weekend with the lead. The score is 1-0. Again, you're watching Odessa Jackalopes hockey on Hockey TV or the audio-only feed over on the Jacks YouTube channel. We'll be back in just a little bit with period number 2 here from the Outpost Ice Arenas in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Welcome back into the broadcast, everybody listening on Hockey TV or over on the audio-only feed on the Jackalopes YouTube channel as we get ready for period number 2 here from the Outpost Ice Arenas in Albuquerque, New Mexico, as the Jacks currently hold a 1-0 lead over the reigning South Division champions. However, they will start with 3 skaters out for the second period after Nate Boak was assessed a hooking minor at the tail end of period number 1. So that will have 47 seconds of 4-on-3 hockey, and then a very abbreviated 5-on-4 power play for New Mexico. It's fired all the way down, and right in front of the Jacks bench. Again, they are going left to right as teams switch sides of the ice for periods number 2. Lindbergh, right circle now. Up top to Hutchinson. Ando with it, left circle, back up top, far side circle. Back to the point they send it. Pass over to Lindbergh. Lindbergh waits. Ando, Minnesota State commit. Tried to go back across. Bezier fans on it, and the second opportunity is able to get it back out the center ice. Lindbergh with it. The AIC commit, top of the right circle. 5 seconds left. A shot and a glove save from Reagan. 19:18 left to go in the second period. And Jacks outshot New Mexico in the first frame 10-8. That is the first shot of period number 2. 4 seconds left of 4-on-3 power play. And then there will be 25 seconds of 5-on-4. Backhanded around. Jack Christian will get to him. He pitchforks it out of his own zone and will glide all the way into the Ice Wolves territory. And they set things up by Aiden Emerson. Over to Scholey. Scholey with it. Just 10 seconds left on this power play for New Mexico. Second of the game. They're 0 for 1 so far. Went 1 for 1 yesterday. To the right circle, they send it. From low to high, a shot, looking for a deflection, settled down and played into the corner. And back to 5-on-5 hockey we go. And good breakup by Marshall from Kuntz. Marshall from the right circle, shoots, just save by Craig as he slammed into the boards afterwards. 18:36 left to go in the second. And Marshall would have loved to have cut back into the left side, but was angled away. And his best option was shooting from the right circle. Hughes to take it against Metz. Near side circle. To the blocker side of Craig, who stands over 6 feet tall, as does the Jackalopes goaltender, Cameron Reagan. Bodies collide right in front of the Jacks bench. J.R. Purdy works in, and he's knocked off the puck by Metz. As Metz drags it in with his right foot. Hughes throws it off the end boards in behind Reagan. Forward pass to J.R. Purdy. Purdy past the red line, lobs it high and into the left corner. Hughes now fighting for it against Benson. Coming to help out is J.R. Purdy. Before that one's bounced off the glass and out to the neutral zone. Recovered by Adam Armijo. Sent near side to Hughes, past the red line, now the blue. He goes for a dumping chase. 17:50 left to go in the second. Jacks still up 1-0. They lead in shots 11-9. That one's almost gloved down by Kidlisic. As Peterson tries to fire it across. Keller shovels it forward. It's a little harder to make some changes as well as you're furthest away from your own zone. As Christian head fakes for bringing it out behind his netminder. As they patiently set up, now fire it to the side for Kedlisek. Good, couldn't get it over to Christian. Good back check by Christian. And offside are the Ice Wolves. That one gets right past Ring. He'll knife it around Kedlisek. And now Hoyer tries to get it around Hutchinson. Unable to do so. A lot of back and forth so far. Just over 3 minutes into period number 2. Open in the left circle, a shot just off the outside of the net from Good. Retrieved on the near side and played out by Graham Harris. All the way over to the far side, New Mexico picks it up and immediately turn it over. Stretched across to the near side for Hoyer. Good, trying to fight for it through the slot. Picked up by New Mexico. Played up but not out. Hoyer over to Good. Good couldn't find Kelly in the slot as it works its way into the left corner. That one steered towards Craig. He's denied as Kuntz has it. And they eventually get it forward to Harris, who will send it rink wide to Ando, and a lot of speed for the Japanese native, who will stop on a dime, send it back up top, and unable to hold it in were the Ice Wolves. All the way back down, Craig plays it forward. Out to the neutral zone. Quickly touched over to number 86, Lindbergh. Across to Ando, broken up in the left circle. And that one deflected off the stick of Boak. Mansfield fires one and saved by Craig. Looking for the rebound was Kelly and Begier, but they don't get it. 15:46 remains in the middle frame here from the Outpost Ice Arenas. 1-0 Jacks. Draw to the far side. The glove hand of Craig, the righty. The right-handed glove. With it is Hastings. As he left it back for Benson. Rimmed off the wall. Hastings with it. He's got a man to his far side. Hastings tried to feed it across and actually caromed off the leg of Varney. With it again. They find it on the back door, and this time it's Javier. They tried the 2-on-1. And they intercepted it deep in the Jack zone to tie things up with 15:24 left to go in the first, or in the second. 1-1 is the score. Well, now it's a 1-1 hockey game here from the Outpost Ice Arenas. 12 to 10 in shots in favor of your Odessa Jackalopes. 2 so far this period for both squads, as it's about to be dropped at the center ice logo. And from the draw, Purdy wins it, plays it forward. Chases right back after as him and Hutchinson collide in the near side corner. Jack Christian fires one off a shin pad over to the left side wall. Comes loose for Pogreba, and now it's Metz with it. Over to Keller. Keller back over to Metz as he tried to knife it between the 5-hole of Reagan. As Hughes tries to get around Benson. With it is Pernian. Pernian brings it back up to the blue line. Arneson with some real estate. Arneson tries to send it across the slot. Hit a body in front. 14:40 left to go in the second period. With it is Hutchinson from the red line. Fires it high into the rafters for a halt to play. Neutral zone draw right in front of the broadcast booth here, furthest from the Jackalopes bench. As Kedlisek wins it over to Arneson. The lefty feeds it off the wall all the way down. Aiden Emerson will get to it first for New Mexico. Sends it over to the far side boards. Wojciechowski turns, fires one in and out of the right. Glove rebound was there, but played wide. Good in after it. Arneson looking one from the top of the point. Kept in by Kedlisek. Players still fighting for it on the near side boards. Kept in again by Arneson. Now Arneson walks in, punch to the boards by Craig. Good, tried to sweep it over. Harrison breaks it up. Wojciechowski chasing him down, and that one whistles wide off the end boards. Ring trying to grab a hold of it far side. Played up but not out from Good. As we have 13:35 left to go here in period number 2. That one's flipped high, settled down in the neutral zone by Camden Benson. As a shot fought off by Reagan off the stick of Lindbergh. Kadisic misses that one. Lindbergh enters first. Toe drag, leaves it. Ando tries to go far side on Reagan, and that one hit iron. A shot from the far side board, stayed wide. Picked up by Horta. He's trying to skate forward. He leaves it for Good. Good, the lone man in as his team's making changes, and he twirls one towards Craig. He might have lost sight of that. It remained just slightly above his head as Kelly keeps it in. Lobs it backhand deep. Begier with some room on the near side. Feeds it back up top. Boak could keep at the line. Boak across right into the stick of Ando. And now chasing him down is Peterson. Boak trying to cut off the pass to Hoyer, and he's able to do so. And across it, it's picked up by Hutchinson. And right to the stick of Boak. Boak across, and Mansfield couldn't receive that one. New Mexico still inside, played across, and a good break up from Boak again. Directly behind Reagan, 12:20 left to go in the second. Scores 1-1. They hit the tape of Begier. Rifles right off his tape. Javier with it. The lone goal for the Ice Wolves, looking for his second of the game. And doesn't get a shot off on Reagan. As they try to force it once again through that center ice logo. Sholey with it, right circle. And that one glances off the blocker of Reagan. As he directed that one to the near side wall. Sully Sholey had 2 goals in yesterday's contest, one coming empty net, which was goal number 5 for the Ice Wolves yesterday. Sholey with it again, breaks out down the right wing. Sholey all alone, right circle, shoots high and wide. 11:35 left to go in the second period. Ice Wolves buzzing here in period number 2. They've tied things up. Mansfield trying to get it through the slot. He gets it around the defense, but it will glide into the corner, and a pass backward leaves Odessa retreating in their own zone as we are just about 9 minutes in to period number 2. Shots are even at 13. Goals are even at 1 here in game number 2. Quickly touched to Gans. Gans weaves his way in from right to left. He's got 2 Ice Wolves on him. Gans trying to leave it for Marshall. Marshall now gets it from the board battles. Sent back up top. Left point shot, hit a body in front. Marshall trying to stick lift the opposition. He'll get back as Christian stepped up on the play. Good pirouette from danger from Marshall. Forward past the Finn. Broken up, held in by Gans. Gans fires one. Right off the shaft of a stick and remained in play. It's played right in front of Odessa's bench. He skates back out to center ice. New Mexico enters far side. Stopping and waiting is Samadrol with 10:15 left to go in this period. In a 1-1 hockey game. They tried Michigan in behind Reagan, but it rolled right off the tape of number 24, Graham Harris, who sees that one go all the way around into the Jack zone and lobbed over him as Arneson got taken out by Samadrol. Ice Wolves have it far side ring. Stripped of the puck by Hughes. Hughes left wing now. He's got Pernian off to his right. Hughes. Toe drag, ran out of real estate, and a back pass misses the Jacks defense as Reagan comes out and sweeps it around. New Mexico will recover from the corner. Ando dancing with it, left side. Pass out in front, picked up by Boak as he sends a forward pass to Hughes. Down the right side. Hughes waits, launches it across. Armijo almost got to it first, lost sight of it between his skates, and Lindbergh off to the races. Across, a shot saved by Reagan. 9:05 left to go in this period, and it's still knotted up 1 apiece. That one banks off the end boards. Now it's played by Howard. Howard drips it back up top. A shot. Trampolines off the end boards. It's still loose at the top of Reagan's crease. Still no whistle from the referee. And finally cradled by Hughes. A lot of mayhem going on right at the top of Reagan's net. As there were tons of black jerseys in front. Luckily, the black puck did not make its way past the goal line as J.R. Perdian fanned on the shot from the high slot. Picked up by Hastings. He streaks in first. Hastings leaves it on back, too far behind Sholey. Back up top to Kuntz. He'll whip it deep. Skillstad will allow Good to possess it. Good breaks it out, and now a 3-on-2 for the Jacks. Hoyer has it right side, tries to force it across, and bounces off a body, and now will trickle back to center ice. Christian with it. Right over to Kudlisic. Hoyer stops on a dime, feeds it back up top. Skillstad's shot. Glove down in midair by Craig with 7:50 left to go in the period. And that will bring us to a media timeout here from the Outpost Ice Arenas in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Total of 7 goals were scored yesterday through 60 minutes. A much slower pace in terms of goals to this game. New Mexico certainly more dominant play here in period number 2 as compared to the Jacks back in period number 1. Ice Wolves certainly feeding off the crowd here on their home opening weekend. The Jacks have a few weeks left until it will be their home opening weekend, but still tickets available. Visit the website for more information. The Jacks will be hosting the El Paso Rhinos, who they went 5-3 against last season. And it will be Pink the Rink weekend. Make sure you wear your pink apparel to support Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And the jerseys will be auctioned after the game on Saturday. A live jersey auction for those that cannot make it. You can have somebody that will attend the live jersey auction to bid for you via over the phone, or if you have a set price determined. All jerseys starting at $350 will be autographed as well. And again, game-worn jerseys. And the team will be wearing them for Friday and Saturday's matchup against the El Paso Rhinos. And they're taking on a Corpus Christi Ice Rays this weekend. Ice Rays struggling early on, as are the Mudbugs. Both of them only one win on the season, just like Odessa. As the Jacks are trying to find their second. They're currently knotted up 1-1 against the reigning South Division champs, as that one carried up and over Reagan's net. His water bottle popped off as well, as it's sitting in the trapezoid behind him. And luckily, he is okay, but also the puck didn't bounce off his back and into the net, as the net came off its pegs. That one's fluttered out by New Mexico, as they're making changes on the fly. Reagan's water bottle still in behind his own net, as that one's tipped deep. 6:52 left to go in the second period. Shots are tied 14 apiece. Yesterday, New Mexico outshot, as that one just misses Ryan Kelly. Bezier with it, brings it out from the corner. Mexico had 33 shots. Odessa finished with 30. Some bodies are colliding in the Ice Wolves zone. Carrying it out is Harris. Harris drops the shoulder, tries to get around Wojciechowski. Wojciechowski knifes it forward. All the way over to Bezier. Bezier with it, over to Wojciechowski, and he has turned aside of a shooting opportunity, as it's quickly covered by Craig with 6:12 left to go in the second. As both sides are making changes. It's going to be an offensive zone draw for Odessa, near side circle. Gans will go up against Alfred Lindbergh for the draw. Ice Wolves throw the 4 other skaters over on the between the circles. Gans almost came loose with it, almost soccering it to his blade. It's cleared out by Howard. Sent right back in by the Jacks. Kuntz trying to play it forward. Lindbergh possesses it. Lindbergh from the left circle. Watched by Bo Kavli as he has to wheel in behind Reagan. As forced off the puck. The bobbling loose puck is kept in by Kuntz. Right circle now, fed across and they score. Once again at the top of the crease. This time it's Lindbergh. And that second line paying dividends for New Mexico this weekend. Yesterday was Howard, now it's Lindbergh. 5:41 left to go in the second. Ice Wolves lead 2-1. Oh, 5:41 left to go in period number 2. Ice Wolves up 2-1. They lead in shots 15-14. They win the ensuing draw all the way back towards Craig as they settle things down for Benson. Peterson sends it right over to Hughes. Hughes enters. Hughes from the right circle tries to go far side and too much air underneath of that one as it stayed well wide of Craig. Hughes with it, far side now. Looking for a lane to send it. He's held up against the boards by Hastings as players are coming together. Perdian comes loose. Perdian fires one off the outside netting. Perdian with it. Sends it into the near side corner for Adam Armijo. Perdian's one-timer hits the shin pad of Benson. Rifled off the boards and out. Quickly broken up by Jack Christian as he feeds it over to Perdian. Perdian, top of the right circle as that one steered out and out of play by Craig. J.R. Perdian trying to play that one far side, maybe get a little bit of puck luck on a rebound as he had some help on that left circle of his. 4:43 remains in period number 2. And that should be the 15th shot for the Jacks. Very low shooting game as we are almost done. 40 minutes to play here in game number 2. Mets wins the draw for New Mexico against Kedlasek of Odessa. Almost picked up on the far side by Hoyer as it's rifled out. Keller up against Arneson. Arneson was able to jab it away from him. Comes loose momentarily but kept deep by Blaine Pogreba. Arneson having trouble clearing it from his own zone. Opts to go back to the near side as he sees more clear ice. Fires it off the glass. However, it's icing against Odessa. Offensive zone draw for New Mexico. Off to the blocker side of Reagan, who's playing in just his second NAHL game. From the face-off dot, it's worked over to the half boards. New Mexico still with it. They'll bank it off the bench boards all the way to the top of the right point. New Mexico trying to find it in the slot, and that one's just brushed off to the left-hand side of Reagan. As good as in after it. Mexico keeps it in. They dish it across to the left circle. A shot fought off by Reagan. And the Ice Wolves keep it alive by Ring. Good. Sauces it right to Dane Hoyard's stick, who will carry it through the logo and just fire it high into the ceiling for a whistle. With 3:28 left to go in period number 2. in the neutral zone drop. Kelly goes up against Lindbergh. That second line out there for New Mexico. Rifle deep from Nate Boat. Craig comes out, quickly plays it behind his own cage. With it is Bloomquist. Almost kept in by the Jacks. Vardy has to wait for his team to tag up. Lindbergh intercepts. Lindbergh enters. He currently has a game-winning goal. Lindbergh from the left circle fires one and scores. Somehow, some way, the Swedish forward, the AIC commit, picked that top near side corner on Reagan. And what a wrister that was for number 86. Almost knocked off the water bottle of Reagan. 3:05 left to go in the second. And it's 3 unanswered goals this period by New Mexico. That's 3 goals this weekend for that second line of New Mexico. 2 of which are committed to D1 hockey programs. On back by New Mexico. They throw it off the bench boards, trying to send it across the Sholey, broken up in the slot. Now a lot of speed on the far side for the Jack Center. That was Finn, picked up by Gantz. Left circle, fed to Marshall. And he doesn't get a shot off as he collided with Hutchinson. Marshall spins away, couldn't get a pass over to Finn. Mexico with it, deep into enemy territory. Stick handling with it is Hastings. He loses it. Hutchinson keeps it in by flipping it right back over to Hastings. Off from a left side shot. And it bounces right to the stick of Gantz. Gantz all the way over to the far side. Sends it over to the near side corner as his team was in the process of making changes. Sholey from the red line fires it deep, and New Mexico will do the same. Puck is pinned up against the yellow trim on the far side. Sent back up to the top of the right point, kept in by New Mexico. Under 2 minutes left to go here in period number 2, and it's going to be a delayed call against Wojciechowski. For a cross check. And now a third power play opportunity for the Ice Wolves. They're 0 for 2 so far. Jacks still without a power play here in game number 2. 1:47 remains in period number 2. So a power play opportunity for the Ice Wolves as they have a 2-goal lead. Their South Division rival, Odessa Jackalopes.
By number 6 of Odessa, that's John Wojciechowski. Penalty occurs 18 minutes, 13 seconds into the period.
Played from far to near. Keller, long burst of speed down the left wing. Leaves it for Howard. Bring it into the left corner. They lose possession of the puck, and it's cleared out by the Jacks. We killed off a 5-on-4 earlier in this game, and then a 4-on-3, and a little bit of that 5-on-4 at the tail end of it. And there was offsetting penalties back in period number 1. So the penalty kill looking much better today than it did yesterday, where the Ice Wolves went 1 for 1. Dalton with it, waits, fires one, saved by Reagan.
1 minute remaining in the period.
This power play for New Mexico. Again, 7 power play goals for. And just a little over 30 opportunities for them. Sent to the top of the point for Dalton. Dalton waits, fires one, ramps off the end boards. Settled down in the left circle. Retrieved by New Mexico. Jake Keller leaves it for Lindbergh, looking for a hat trick, doesn't get it. Stopped by Reagan back up top. It goes to Lindbergh. Under 30 seconds left to go in the second. Lindbergh with it. Waits. Left circle. Shot. Saved by Reagan. And no rebound to come off that shot from the Minnesota State commit, Yusako Ando. I don't think I've ever seen a Japanese player in the North American Hockey League. The league has been around for quite some time, and I'm sure there have been some made their way into the Tier 2 junior level here in the States. But he is one quick skater for New Mexico, number 5 without a nameplate, as Horner's ridden off to the puck on the near side. Just under 10 seconds left to go in the period. And only 20 seconds left of power play time. Just a little bit will carry over as the horn will sound. Ending period number 2. It was heavily favored for the home team as they scored 3 goals in the middle of frame to give them a 3-1 lead. Heading into the final period here from the Outpost Ice Arenas in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Shots read 20-15 in favor of the Ice Wolves. Again, they are up by a pair as the score reads 3-1. Again, they had got 3 straight goals. It started with number 20, Nicolas Javier, and it's been back-to-back goals off the stick of Alfred Lindbergh. As we'll have just about 14 seconds of Ice Wolves power play time when we come back with period number 3 in just a little bit. Again, you're watching Odessa Jackalopes hockey on Hockey TV. Welcome back into the broadcast here on Hockey TV or on the audio feed over on the YouTube channel as we get ready for period number 3 from the Outpost Ice Arenas. Current score, New Mexico 3, Odessa 1. Jacks have a record of 1-3-0-1 so far this season. New Mexico 4-1, 8 points for them. Again, reigning South Division champs. And only 5 of their 12 forwards are 03 born, no one 04 or later. And actually, they have no 04s on their entire lineup card this evening. Jacks are playing with 5 04 born skaters, one of which is the netminder for Odessa, Cameron Reagan. 14 seconds of power play time for New Mexico. As Dalton trying to feed it back over to Lindbergh, who's one away from a hat trick. And with fresh legs onto the ice as it was jabbed back by Kelly into enemy territory. That will do it for Wojciechowski's minor. As it's off the tape of Howard. Whipped around by Reagan. All the way up and out as Kuntz wasn't able to keep it in for his squad. Just about 30 seconds into the final period of regulation. Odessa's penalty kill looking much better here in game number 2 as they have killed off all 3 Ice Wolves power plays. This is going to be a neutral zone drop right in front of us here. Kelly up against Metz for the draw. That top line is out there for Odessa as there's some face-off infractions taking place. Ice Wolves win it. Ring gets around 1, but Varney's there to collect it. He wheels behind his netminder, passes it to Kelly, right to the tape of Mansfield. A lone goal for Odessa. Mansfield sweeps in, tries to get it back out in front off the skate of Begier. And Wojciechowski looks to keep it in for the Jacks, unable to do so. And now it's a 2-on-1. Pogreba leads it. Opportunity and good break up by Arneson. Slap shot! And it went wide anyway, but colliding and taking out the net was Tane and Begier. Well off its pegs as it almost reached the end boards with 19:03 left to go in the third. Luckily, everybody's okay as that was could have been a dangerous play as the shot was put right on target. It will be an offensive zone draw for New Mexico, far side circle. Hastings up against Begier for the draw off to the right-hand side of Reagan. 1, left circle shot. It sticks and skates in front as Mansfield, with a lot of speed, is able to get past the red line and fires it deep. Over a minute gone here in period number 3. Odessa trailing 3-1. Sully Scholey with it, trying to get around Arneson. Flips it for a dump and chase. Wojciechowski rims it around the yellow trim as far as the half boards. Arneson will now pick it up far side. Shuffle boards it forward. Kept in at the bench boards by Hastings. And it's dug out by Odessa. Over to Armijo. Armijo overskated it. And went right back to the neutral zone. However, they call it call offside. Thought he was going to just bring it back. And touched it in the offensive zone, and the linesman on the far side blowing the whistle. Neutral zone drop, won by New Mexico. Quickly sent back to the defense of Hutchinson. Ramps right off the tape of Harris as it's broken up between the blue lines. Eventually flattened down and settled by Jack Christian, who just brings it behind Reagan. Trying to play it back for Kedlasik and broken up by Skillstat. Skillstat fires one. That one caroms well wide of Crank, who came out aggressively at the top of his crease. 17:45 left to go in the third. Ice Wolves up 3-1. A 3-goal second period is what brings us to this score. That's unable to get a shot off from the slot. Ice Wolf player without his stick. We'll go retrieve that now as this team turns the other way with it. Lob it into the left corner. Now to Vardy. Vardy forward past the good. Jack's making changes. Lindbergh stick lifts and takes the puck away from Good. Lindbergh enters. Ando tries to fire one far side and a big hit thrown on Lindbergh, who is down on the play, and it's a penalty coming up against Odessa as there's altercations going on around Lindbergh. You have to be careful you don't already hurt the injured man, as Wojciechowski took the helmet off of Ando. And Marshall and Ando going toe-to-toe now. Marshall wants a piece of Ando, and the Japanese native wants nothing to do with it, as it looks like Marshall might be getting some extracurricular assessed to him, as Lindbergh's still out on the ice, and Marshall still not wanting to go to the penalty box with 17:06 left to go in the third. Vardy will join him. Head coach Phil Fox looking on from the Ice Wolves bench. He's been the head coach for New Mexico since their inaugural season back in 2019-2020. And Lindbergh now being attended to on the Ice Wolves bench, with only 2 players in the box for Odessa, Marshall and Vardy. No one in the box for New Mexico. And that's quite some discipline from New Mexico. You saw from Ando, Marshall wanted a lot. I'm not sure what really sparked that, because Ando was kind of tangled up with Wojciechowski, and out of nowhere, Marshall came back to go toe-to-toe with him, and Ando kept skating away from number 10 in black, and leading to Marshall getting something extra, I'm sure. We are only about 3 minutes into period number 3. Shots favoring the home team, 21-15. Ice Wolves up 3-1. And they're going to put Ando in the box, and a lot of boos coming from the fans here at the Outpost Ice Arenas. And waiting for the official call from referee Sean Cornock. Odessa entered this weekend series first in the South in penalty minutes with 52. As Hoyard and Howard, the representatives from both teams, getting the official word from the referee over by the all-fights officials box. As they're still going over the penalties, there's a 2-minute minor up on the board assessed to Ando. Nothing on the side of the Jackalopes, but they have 2 in their sin bin. It's Vardy and Marshall for the Jacks. And number 5, Ando, the Minnesota State commit for New Mexico. Lindbergh still being looked at on the bench by the trainer for New Mexico. As it was a hard hit thrown just to the side of the Jacks bench. Again, 17:06 left to go. Vardy, a 2-minute minor for boarding.
2-minute minor for roughing, and number 10 of Odessa, that's William Marshall, plus an additional 10-minute misconduct for continuing.
A 2-minute minor for roughing for William Marshall, and a 10-minute misconduct.
We also have a 2-minute minor route on number 5 of New Mexico.
And Ando gets a 2-minute minor.
He's coming to 2:54 minutes of the period. Again, 2 minutes for boarding on Vardy, 2 minutes for roughing on Marshall, plus
so boarding
10-minute misconduct penalty for continuing the altercation.
For roughing.
And 2 minutes for roughing on Ando.
The unsportsmanlike to Marshall is continuing an altercation, which results in 10 minutes for number 10. So it is just a 2-minute power play. The fourth of the evening for New Mexico. Ice Wolves the only team so far to have a man advantage. They're unsuccessful on their previous 3 so far. They lead 3-1 as they work it back up top. Sully Sholey with it from the right circle. Ice Wolves went 1 for 1 yesterday, and a blast from Dalton raises high and above the head of Reagan. Played to them half boards. I'll keep an eye on Lindbergh to see if I see him back out on the ice. But a 2 and a 10 for Marshall, a 2-minute minor for Ando of New Mexico, and a 2-minute minor for Vardy. Out of that big altercation after Lindbergh was dumped on the far side in the Jack zone. Javier, left circle now, shot, blocked out in front. Picked up by Howard. He's got Javier with him. Doesn't feed it to him. Javier now with it. Back up top, kept in. Sholey with it. Fires, block shot. And he'll pick it up on the far side. Sent up top to Dalton. Now near side. Javier fins on a shot from the top of the right circle. Works back into the dot. Ricochets to the far side. A shot. Beats Reagan, and I think it got tipped in front by Howard. Off the initial shot from Jake Keller. And it's a power play goal, 4-1 New Mexico. And it is Howard through the handshake line first. 2 goals this weekend for number 13. My player to watch, certainly making his presence felt this weekend here on the Ice Wolves home opening weekend. Mexico certainly picking up where they left off last season. Feeling like maybe they should have been in that Robertson Cup championship game against the Anchorage Wolverines. And this team can certainly find the back of the net. Put up already 7 true goals, I should say. Again, yesterday 2 empty netters. 9 overall total this weekend. Vardy's out of the box. He was only in for 2 minutes. Ando has to wait to serve his 2 and then wait for play to be blown dead. They have 22 shots up on the board for New Mexico, but I feel like that's a little lower and only 15 for Odessa as well, maybe slightly lower than what it should be, but certainly has been a quieter shooting affair here in game number 2 as compared to yesterday. The Ice Wolves put up 17 shots in the first 20 minutes. Great. Races down the left wing. Plays it deep. Pogreba gets away from it. Players fighting for it along the near side. Armijo right to the tape of Hughes. Hughes past the red line and snaps it deep. Adam Armijo back after it in his hometown of Albuquerque. And it looks like he might have just drawn a penalty from the near side corner. And it's a hand raised by the referee. Holding is called with 15-13 left to go in the third. And it looks like it will be a Jersey Mike man advantage for the Jacks, their first of the contest. A holding is called against JD Metz. This is an Ice Wolves team that, again, is returning a lot of players, and they only have 02 and 03 born skaters on their lineup chart here. Jack's playing with many more rookies than New Mexico. Currently trailing 4-1. Power play opportunity fed to the corner. And it's chopped out by New Mexico. Just 10 seconds into this man advantage for the Jacks as we are 5 minutes in to the final period of regulation. Wojciechowski to Kelly, now to Mansfield. Leaves it for Hughes. Hughes feeds it below the goal line. Trying to reach for that one was Craig. Hughes back with it, lower left circle. Passes it up top to Wojciechowski. Good puck movement for the Jacks. They fire one through the heavy traffic. Ricochets back over for Hughes, who will twist it deep. Now to Kelly. Kelly with it. Leaves it into the left circle for Hughes. The righty fires one. Wanted a deflection, doesn't get it. Back over for Kelly. That one's angled towards Craig and save. And another penalty against New Mexico. If the Jacks are smart, they'd let them touch it. It would go 5-on-3. They're not letting them as they're a minute into this 5-on-4. It's 6-on-4, and finally, they let them play it. And hooking is called against Hutchinson. An opportunity for the Jacks if they can score on these two power plays to pull within one of the reigning South Division champs. So while the referee is talking things over with the off-ice officials, this allows Scott Dewar and Chris Francis, head coach and assistant coach, to talk things over with their team heading into a 5-on-3 power play. And Phil Fox living with referee on that call against one of his star defensemen, Jeff Hutchinson. As you have two returning vets for New Mexico, Metz and Hutchinson in the box. Very stellar players last year for New Mexico. Odessa wins it, 5-on-3 power play. Huge opportunity for them to pull within two, and then maybe another. Top of the right circle, fed back over to J.R. Perdian. 35 seconds left on this 5-on-3. Up top, right circle, they fire one, skips just wide. Hoyard fighting for it in the corner. They cycle it back up top to Boak. 25 seconds left of 5-on-3. Boak down low, they whip it across, and that one stopped by Craig. They pick it back up from the right circle. Armijo leaves it, left circle, and almost getting shot off. It's out in front and somehow stopped by Craig. A few rebound opportunities for the Jacks as Hoyard will keep it alive. Hoyard from the left circle. Back up top to Purdy, now 5-on-4. They try one and score! J.R. Purdy in a power play goal, 5-on-4. And they cut the lead in half with 13:09 left to go in the third. That is J.R.'s first of the season. And it's just the third power play goal this season for Odessa. They end the 4 unanswered goals by New Mexico. Still a lot of time left in this third period. So the current score is 4-2. Thanks to J.R. Perdian's power play goal.
Goal by Odessa.
That just happened after the 5-on-3 expired. Had maybe been 2 or 3 seconds before that as Mansfield picks it off. Rebound was there for Bezier to tip it home, but it just went off to the left-hand side of Craig. As now Metz enters. Metz around out in front. It's played. Caroms back up to the blue line. Knocked down to midair by Keller and knifed into the corner by the Jacks. Wojciechowski. Mansfield now over to Kelly. Right off the tape of Bezier. And Craig will cover it up. 12:31 left to go in the third. Ice Wolves 22 shots. Jackalopes 20. first two shots really the difference maker right now as the Ice Wolves lead by a pair 4-2. And it's now the fourth time this season New Mexico has allowed a power play goal. If the Jacks can maybe get one in the next maybe 5 to 6 minutes, of course, sooner rather than later would be better, but if they could get one soon, have a lot of momentum going in towards the tail end of regulation, only down by 1. Again, 3 of the 4 Ice Wolves wins have been by a score of 5-2. The other one being 4-2. That's what the current score reads here from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Slap shot, ricochets wide. With it is Scholey, a high shot, punched aside and out by Reagan. As new Jackalopes players are coming onto the ice, as it's fed down the right wing to Javier, who backhands it deep. Reagan taps it for Christian, who ladles it around to the right corner. Broken up by Javier. Hastings back over to Javier. 3 Jackalopes watching near side, and luckily escapes over to open ice on the far side. Hastings with it, far side half boards. Hastings patiently pulls the trigger now. Saved by Reagan, rebounds loose, then he pounces on it again. And some jawing, and Hughes is just throwing some rights at Hastings, the 27s. Not liking one another with 11:38 left to go on the third. Reagan making huge saves between the pipes to keep his team relatively in it, and a 4-2 score. And we'll see if Hughes is going. It started with Hastings. And it will be Hughes going to the box. And no doors opening for New Mexico. And this could be an unsportsmanlike or a roughing against Hughes. New Mexico's recent power play converted for him.
It's a 2-minute minor by number 27 of Odessa, Justin Hughes for roughing.
It is a roughing call against Hughes. New Mexico's currently 1 for 4 on the power play. This is not a situation the Jacks want to find themselves in, trailing by a pair, and now having to kill off another 2-minute minor. From the neutral zone. Now the Jacks are on a Kenner printing penalty kill. As it's sent back to the defense by Ando. Broken up by Christian from center ice, and he'll just softly play it deep. Ando with it. Ando gets around Christian. A good play by Arneson, and Christian will flip it out. Ando with it. Sends it over. Back up top to Ando. Now to Howard. He fires one off the mask of Reagan, as they were once again trying to pick that top corner above his shoulder. Under 11 minutes left to go in the third. Jacks clear their zone and get 4 fresh skaters out. There's only 1:10 left to go on the Ice Wolves power play. There's a 2-minute minor assessed to Hughes for roughing. Breaking out are the Ice Wolves. Down the left wing, good poke check by Skillstat as it's cleared deep by Odessa. Applying the pressure now is Kelly. They'll bring it right to the slot. Some of the momentum was stopping. Good breakup by Kedlasek. They'll bring it to the slot and didn't have enough room. Got a little tip on it for it to carry him back over to Craig. And nothing comes of that. The time is still winding down. There was about 1 second that came off. It possibly should have been 10-14, 10-15. It reads 10-13. Left in regulation. 36 seconds remaining. And they do reset it to 10-15. But 36 seconds left of this penalty kill for the Jacks. They trail 4-2. The first 3 penalty kills looked really good. New Mexico converted on the 4th power play, however, their most recent one. Tangled up in that face-off dot on the far side. who sticks and skates. It comes to the stick of Pogreba, who launches one caddy corner into the left side. Just bouncing away from Reagan and losing his helmet is Ring, who has to skate right back to the bench. He cannot play without a helmet. Bloomquist will take it in from behind his own netminder. Fired across to the stick of Johnson. Johnson enters, right circle, trying to send it across to the slot. Good break up by the defense. Benson slides it near to far. That one's tipped wide. Johnson tries to sling it back home, and off the outside of the net it bounces. And we go back to 5-on-5 hockey. As soon as Begier had cleared it, so icing is called. With 9:30 left to go in the third, New Mexico up 4-2. Again, all-time this season's, or the all-time record between these two teams, very close over the course of the last few seasons, with the Jacks trailing just by a little bit, 11-13, 0-1, all-time record against New Mexico. And that dates back to the 2019-2020 campaign, which was the first in the NHL for the Ice Wolves. They've already hung their first banner in franchise history. This is their home opening weekend, and good sidestep from Gans to get around a hit that was being attempted by Eden Emerson. Arneson with it, snaps it forward, now into the blade of, Gans. Good. Offside is called. Just under 9 minutes left to go in the third. That will bring us to immediate timeout here from the Outpost Ice Arenas.
Fitness Superstore is the official fitness equipment provider to your New Mexico Ice Wolves. A fan cycle bar, Northeast Albuquerque's premier indoor cycling facility. In the best shape of your life at Cycle Bar. DPS Parking Services, vehicle compliance, mobilization, removal projects, and fire watch services. Visit ABQ. Fans for things to do in Albuquerque, be sure to go to Visit ABQ.
So we have a halt to play because of the immediate timeout with just under 9 minutes left to go in the third. Ice Wolves currently leading in shots by 4, 24-20. They're up by 2. The score reads 4-2. Odessa sending out Adam Armijo, J.R. Perdian, and Justin Hughes. Marshall still in the box. Scrum occurred with about 17 minutes left to go in this third period, so he has a 2-10 full to serve. But he also has to wait for play to be blown dead before he can exit. As it's brushed around by Christian and kept in by Dalton, top of the right point. Set from high to low, onto the stick of Howard. 2 goals already this weekend for him, as Dalton will keep it alive for New Mexico by sending it below the goal line. Broken up by Hughes, as taking a heavy hit was Armijo. Large supporting cast for him, scored his first NHL goal yesterday. Keller back over to the slot. Howard doesn't get a shot off, as Arneson appeared to get hit up high. Play continues on. It looked like his helmet lifted up relatively high below the goal line. We continue on. Back to the right circle. They try to muscle it home, goes through the top of the crease and back over to the near side. 8 minutes left to play here in the third. New Mexico leading Odessa 4-2. And what was really a 3-2 final yesterday, again the empty net goals made it 5-2 as Vardy head fakes the opposition. Feeds it to Mansfield. Mansfield couldn't knife it away from Hastings. That one's still in between the skates of Hastings, and he's able to force it down into the corner. Sully Sholey with it from the right circle, looking for a lane to pass it. Up top to Emerson. He'll whip it deep. Vardy looking on, and sees in hot pursuit against Javier in the near side corner. They collide, and it's sent far side to Begier from Mansfield. Right circle shot just misses the right glove of Craig. Mansfield keeps it alive by twirling it deep. 7:15 left to go in the third. As it's jabbed out by New Mexico, it's not going to have enough steam to go for icing, as Peterson will recover behind Reagan. All the way to the tape of Mansfield. Will hit Begier. Bounces off of his stick into the corner. Rifled deep by Odessa. Peterson tried to dump it into the goal line. Him and Ando collide. Dalton with it. Dalton feeds one out in front, broken up. It's now played in the trapezoid behind Reagan. And it looks like Skillstat has his stick underneath Metz. Fans wanted a call, don't get it. And Skillstat throwing his body weight around on J.D. Metz as they meet again in the corner. Benson slides to the cross. Top of the left point. That one ricochets off of Begier and back into the near side corner. Now under 6:30 left to go. They feed it right to the top of Reagan's crease, and no shot comes of it as the Jacks are getting new skaters onto the ice, and a big hit thrown from Good. Players are wiping out all over the place in Odessa's zone. That was Ring that time. Falling in behind the net of Reagan. Christian flips it forward. Jacks are onside. Played around to that far side, and now numbers going for New Mexico. Good break up by the Army commit Hoyer as he tried to send it off to his right-hand side. New Mexico then breaks it up. Ice Wolves enter. Far side now, they have it. 5:35 left to go in the third. And it's been just a lot of back and forth hockey, as Good will get to it on the far side. Not too many shots in this third period. Separated by 5 currently, leading are the Ice Wolves with 25. Rimmed around the yellow trim. Bounces to the top of the left point before it's finally settled down by Odessa and flipped out. Finn trying to chase after it. Dalton will get to it first. As he spins around, tries to feed Harris, and that one caroms up and out of play. As now Marshall's out of the box after serving his 2 and a 10 with 5:04 left to go in the third. We have immediate timeout here from the Outpost Ice Arenas in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Download the Fansave app or visit www.fansave.com and become a fan today. You can start saving big, just like the pros. Marshall returns for Odessa.
So 5:04 left to go in period number 3. Odessa currently trailing the defending South Division champs by a score of 4-2. New Mexico will be a very tough team this season. This is only the second of 8 meetings between these two teams. Ice Wolves took game number 1 yesterday by a score of 5-2 as they tried to send it back in the slot from Marshall. He was stick lifted. And now Hutchinson will backhand it deep into the Jack zone. And as wiping out was Boak. And it's off to the right-hand side of Reagan, and a big hit thrown from Vardy on the opposition. Boak once again loses an edge, but was still able to manage to get back up and play it forward. Marshall, after sitting for roughly 12 minutes, gets it deep in the enemy territory. Gans from the left corner. Under 4:30 left to go in the third. Sent back up to the top of the point. Skillstad will retreat with it and send it D to D near side. Peterson backhands it forward, playing in his first game this weekend. Finn right to the bench. New attackers on for Odessa. Javier from the right circle sends it through the blue paint out the other way. Javier back with it, in behind the goal line. Sends it out in front, paddled aside by Reagan. Javier with it. Hastings all alone in the slot. It doesn't get to him. It's played below the goal line. Hastings with it. Far side now. Drop back past the Sully-Sholey. Hastings one-time shot. Butterfly saved by Reagan. Long saucer pass across for Hughes. They're onside. Hughes waits. Leaves it. Left circle. Out in front. They try to force it. And it's in the right circle. Kick saved by Craig. 3:30 remains in the third. Over to Christian near side. Changes coming slowly for New Mexico. They leave it for Perdian, and his elevating shot sails up and over the head of Craig. And off the end boards. Perdian recollects it from the left corner. Perdian tries to hop between two Ice Wolves players, and now good kneeling block momentarily from Christian Ando. Ando sends one high, just glances up and over the net of Reagan. Played right to Mansfield. Mansfield trying to go one-on-one with his counterpart, Landon Emerson. And the Ice Wolves come away the better of that battle as they send it deep into the Jack zone with 2:45 left to go in the game. Playing forward to Kelly. Kelly now with it. The Colorado native. A dump and chase. He'll get to it first. Kelly has Bezier. He'll pass it along to him. Bezier now with it. Sends it deep to Mansfield. Oh, almost back out to Kelly. However, just slid right past him as dangerously playing that one was Reagan, and almost picking it off was Harris. Big collision thrown good, still with it. Beautiful deke around the opposition. Fires one towards Craig. That whistle's wide. And Scott Dewar will now pull Reagan as it's 6-on-5. Kept in at the top of the left point by Arneson. 2 minutes remains in the third. Jacks down in the slot. The score is 4-2 New Mexico. That one's backhanded up and out to center ice. Arneson keeps it alive. Fed over to Kelly. Played all the way across now. Odessa will keep it in. Arneson, top of the point. New Mexico with it. They're looking for an empty net. They send it over to number 29, Tyler Samadol. And he'll make it 5-2 Ice Wolves with 92 seconds left here in regulation. .132 left to go in the third. Current score, New Mexico 5, Odessa 2. Shots rate 27 in favor of the Ice Wolves, 21 for the Jackalopes. And it's still early on in the season, only game number 6 of 60 for both teams. And at one point last year, the Jacks put the Shreveport Mudbugs on their longest losing streak in franchise history. Again, the Shreveport Mudbugs, two-time Robbie Cup winners. The Jacks had put them on an 8-game losing streak. And Shreveport came back in the second half of the season and made the playoffs. And it's certainly by no means over, as we are not even out of the month of September yet. Reagan out of the net again. 6-on-5 now for Odessa with 1:10 left to go in regulation. Current score reads 5-2 Ice Wolves. Hughes with it from the lower right circle. Trying to fight off the opposition that's draped all over his back. Hughes below the goal line. Under 60 seconds left to go here in the third. Hoyer dishes it back up top to Vardy. Across now for Christian. He fires one, and Hughes couldn't tip it out of midair. It's caught by Craig. He's looking for his second win this season. All, or both I should say, goaltenders for New Mexico are age-outs. The backup to Craig is Carson Stokes, who was in the net yesterday for a 5-2 victory for the Ice Wolves.
Hey, take care.
Offensive zone draw for Odessa, near side circle. 47 seconds remains here in game number 2. Again, these two teams finished a season series of 4-4 last season. Mansfield gloved it down and keeps it in for the Jacks. It's still pinned up against the top of the left point. Still kept in. Christian gets it loose. A shot just gets blocked out in front. They're trying to force it home. Ando with it. Plays it off the boards on the far side. Christian will grab it with 20 seconds left to go. All the way up top. 4-on-2 for the Jacks. Across for Mansfield. Fires one just wide. Rebounds there. Right circle. And it deflects up and over a Jackalope stick. It's rolling on its edge all the way and off the near side post. Just missing the empty net to once again bring the final score 5-2. Jackalopes are swept for the first time in the South Division at the hands of the team that swept them at the end of last season. The New Mexico Ice Wolves. Final score both nights 5-2. Ice Wolves leading in shots at the end of this one, 27-22. Well, next weekend the Jackalopes are off, and then they will be on the road to go up against the Shreveport Mudbugs. And they will be home for home opening weekend against the El Paso Rhinos, who won in overtime against the Corpus Christi Ice Rays, who are certainly struggling early on here into this lengthy season that goes all the way until April. Again, only game 60 of 60. Or game 6 of 60, I should say, has been played for both teams. A lot of team side at the top of the South Division with 8 points or so. But still a lot of hockey left to be played. 54 games total remaining for both teams. You get on a little bit of a hot streak later on when you start to find your groove, as they're not even 10 games in, and for many of these rookies, still just about 5 NHL games under their belt. They played a very, very experienced New Mexico Ice Wolves team this weekend. I can't emphasize that enough. Their roster is very similar to last season, and with some of the additions they've made, is once again another dangerous team here from Albuquerque, New Mexico, and one to watch out for all season long, as they currently have a record of 5-1 and another 5-2 victory under their belt. Well, we'll see you in 2 weeks in Shreveport, Louisiana, as the Jacks are off next weekend. Again, thanks for tuning in on Hockey TV or the audio-only feed on the Jackalopes YouTube channel. Final score 5-2. Jacks get swept by New Mexico on the Ice Wolves home opening weekend. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, everybody. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Go Jacks, go.